Hey, this is Chris from Adiron, here to talk about our debut LP, From the Ashes, and how we recorded and produced it in a basement studio. This is a home studio. It's not a pro studio, so there are limits to what we can afford and accomplish, but we wanted to find a way to get an authentic 80s analog vibe. And to do that, we built this rack unit. This rack unit is the front end of the studio. Sound sources from mics or synths or drums or percussion or what have you all come in here and first get sent to a preamp. And those XLR plugs that you see right there are plugs that connect to the pre's. And you'll see on top, for those that recognize it, a pair of Neve 1073s, lovely, what I would consider to be almost general purpose pre's. We got a few other nice ones in here as well that we can use depending on the source material. And then from there, we can use the patch bay up top to route the signals from the pre's to a variety of compressors or effects units. And we'll walk through a couple of those. So as far as the compressors go, most of the compression on the album was done with hardware, not in the box with plugins. And in this rack, we've got a bus pair of what I would consider to be the four major categories of compressors. There's some optical compressors, LA 3A style. There's a Verimu. There's a bus pair of effect compressors like 1176 style. There's a VCA bus comp as well. So it covers lots of bases. We've also got a parametric EQ. We've got Pultec style EQ and a transient shaper, the Alicia Envelope, lovely unit. And then one of my favorites here, which is the reamper. This one is from Radial, great company up in Canada. And the reamper is cool because we can take signals that have already been recorded, bring them back into analog world, and then send them to things like guitar effects pedals, or one of my favorites, the Eventide Harmonizer. This is an authentic unit from the 80s. It's the H3000 with the full set of upgrades that were available at the time. Really cool unit that has a sonic fingerprint on tons of albums from the era. But one of the cool ways we use the reamper was to take a synth, let's say a Moog or an Oberheim synth lead on a solo, bring it out, plug it into a Marshall guitar head and cabinet, and then mic it and re-record it. And tricks like that gave what I would consider to be a pretty cool vibe. Certainly very analog, a lot of crunch, and very cool for the right application. So once we've got our sounds and we've preamped them, we've compressed, we've EQ'd, we've affected them, it goes into the interface. And in our case, we used a Studio Live 32SX from PreSonus. And from the interface here into the computer, where we can continue to mix and do some digital magic if we want to add, for example, some pure digital effects. A couple other analog units that we use on sound sources going into the box. We got a bus pair of de-essers here. We have a pair of Rupert Neve Designs tape emulators, which give that nice saturated tape feel without having to have an actual tape reel unit and deal with all that. Although we'd love to, if somebody wants to donate one to Adiron, we would be grateful. Feel free, but in the meantime, we'll keep using these emulators. They have a great sound, and they are all over the album as well. And then finally, we have an SSL Fusion bus processor, and this is also used quite extensively, including on the final mix bus for every track on the album. So lots of great tones can be coaxed out of this, and we use it to great effect. So that is the front or hardware end of the studio. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time we can talk about some of the sound sources, including some lovely vintage synths from the 80s. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Thanks.